the Father, Father, may. Thanks for the wonderful, beautiful life that you have granted to us. Thank you for bringing us into this situation. May you come and bless us, let everything that you have spoken, let us pick it up. Then we continue until the end, until we leave your prayer of this church in the name of the Father, Son, and the Spirit.
Amen. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Hillis the College, for the word of the prayer. Allow me to invite our facilitator, Mr. Simon, to kick off with the presentation. Mr. Simon, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kaziba Stephen. I greet you all dear members, all dear students and the colleagues in the profession who are on the call. I want to welcome you once again tonight to this facilitation. Thank you for sparing the time to be here, to you, the students, and to all the colleague teachers on the call. Tonight, we are going to go through the assignment files that we shared. Because of the limited time, we may be limited to the content that we shared because we have a maximum of 2 hours, of which around 7 minutes are already gone. So allow me that during the presentation, we shall go through the questions that were said to see how can we interpret them and go through some other simple guidelines. Where we have some questions, dear candidates, I want to ask you, note them down. If not, you can still put them in the chat. We shall have some time to see that we go through them. I want to begin by talking about a few things. Can someone tell me that you can see my screen? Are you able to see my screen? I am sharing my screen here. Someone put in the chat that you can see my screen there. Oh, yes, I have seen at least one person saying that they can see my screen. That means, all right, thank you very much. Let's keep the comments in the chat. Now, to begin right away, dear candidates, I greet you once again. My name is Kanike Simon Peter Chiviri. I'm a teacher of ICT or ICT facilitator. I teach at St. Edward's, Bukumi, in a district called Kakumiro in Western Uganda. Allow me, we are going to talk about ICT, that is Information and Communications Technology. This paper, this subject of ours at UNEB level, I know we are preparing ourselves for mock, but mock is not the limit. Our target is UNEB. Our standard paper will go for 2 papers. Paper 1 is purely theory, and paper 2 is a practical exam. However, both of these papers will require you to read scenarios and interpret them. The other bit of assessment that you'll have to go through is through continuous assessment. Your teachers will have to go through some assessment forms. We shall assess you through projects and activities of integration. Some of the students are dodging these items, but they're going to contribute some good marks to your final exam. They may not contribute to the marks in these mock exams that you're going for, but the exams that you will have at the end. The questions that we shall have our standard paper, that is paper 2, normally has 2 sections, has 2 questions. It is one section as we may refer to the recent UNEB sample that was sent to us, because we know that the paper will surely look not exactly, but nearly the same as that standard UNEB paper that was sent. It comes from two themes. The first theme, according to our syllabus, is data management and sharing. In data management and sharing, we have word processing, spreadsheets. Word processing has word processing 1, which we study around senior 1 and senior 2. And then spreadsheet 1, which we still have in senior 2. Then we still have word processing 2, which you come for in senior 3, and spreadsheet 2, which you go for in senior 3 again. So these two, for us, we are combining them because in the exam, we shall not ask you for any application. Then also the other one is presentation software, that is Microsoft PowerPoint, which we commonly study here, and also database management system. That is for a theme called data management and sharing. Here, I only extracted the chapters or the topics that we shall be going for, or those topics that are set for purely our practical exam. But there are also some other topics that go to paper 1. Then the other theme is publications, where we have two topics, that is electronic publication and website design. These topics, these papers, these questions or items are compulsory. And the questions will never mention to you which application to use. But it is upon you to read and understand and interpret the question for you to determine which application to use. So I think my screen has run off. Let me return the screen. Okay. So I want to encourage you, dear students, candidates, please practice and practice and practice. Prepare yourselves very well. After preparing yourselves, you will have to perform. Practice, because many of the students will always fail because of lack of practice. Practice and avoid the cyberphobia. Cyberphobia is fear of computers. There are many of the candidates or the learners that we meet and they fear touching the computer. Feels like the mouse will burn them, feels like he may destroy the teacher's computer, feels like they're going to spoil things. Please don't fear them. Then understand the fundamental concepts of each topic. We have word processing 1 and word processing 2. It is intensive. The questions that are going to be set for you are not telling you which skill to apply, but we imply that you know which skill to apply at a certain situation. Then read the instructions before attempting the exam questions, even when you know. You may feel like I have read the instructions, the teacher told me the instructions, so I don't need to read the instructions anymore. Kindly read the instructions. You never know, things may change that last minute. And also take some minutes to read the scenarios carefully. Understand them, identify key terms that lead to the correct applications. If you need to read the scenario more than 3 times, please do so. If you need to read it 4 times, please do so, such that you get to the nitty-gritty of everything. Then time yourself, not to be caught by time while typing. Our standard paper goes for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So in that time, please make sure that the 2 applications are actually done. You have completed them, nothing else is remaining of you. Make sure that everything is done. Start with the item that you feel confident in, because the instructions are not dictating which application to begin from. It is upon you to begin from the easy application. Also, ensure that you load the correct support files. Some of you, out of excitement, you're given support files to help you or to direct you because of too much content to waive the work from you. Some of you may take a lot of time. loading wrong support files. So to avoid that, please, in case you're stuck, seek help from your teacher. It is your teacher's role, or that lab attendant's role, or that invigilator's role to make sure that you have correct support files. Then also use a computer that you're familiar with. We have seen a very common scenario or problem. A student is not used to a laptop, and some of our schools will borrow these computers to the day of the exam. You are used to using the desktop because the teacher doesn't want to have very many shifts. You are given laptops. They will do the same work like the desktop, but you feel like you're not comfortable with using that touchpad. While typing, you are used to the keyboard, which has that numerical pad. Please ask your teacher to kindly sort you out by providing you with a machine that you are used to. Then also practice to improve your typing speed, because this is one of the common challenges that students have. The issue of saving. Quite a number of times, many of you, the students, will find your work not saved. You work for 1 hour, power goes off and blacks out. You start shedding tears. Teacher, my work, I saved it here. And also, as you save, can you determine where are you saving your work? Can you know that location? There is a topic of file and folder management where you're supposed to know, in that theme of data management and sharing, you're supposed to know how to save your work in a folder such that you don't have to go meandering around the whole computer looking through the recent files. Before you print the work, because you're supposed to present both soft and hard copy, make sure that your work looks professional, it fits on a paper. Not that you are printing and one column is overflowing onto another page. Try to understand, as a student, the requirements of the questions. You will only impress the examiner by showing the skills that they ask for. Some of these skills are implied. For us, we will need to see a particular document produced from you. But how professional is it? Did you put all the skills that are supposed to be put for you to get out these results? Then also work with, now that we still have some time with our teachers, please make sure that you work with your teacher. Seek feedback. You're designing a certain brochure, you're designing a certain certificate, you're designing a site, you're designing a report. Can you tell your teacher? If you not, share it with your teacher. Tell him, teacher, this is what I have done. May you please comment on my work? Also, present professional work. You need to understand the applications. Don't cram. We have been cramming the sum, the mean, the marks in spreadsheet. You go to Word and you know that you're supposed to always change the font color, font style. There are cases when they may not happen, but there are some other skills that may be needed of you to apply and put. Then also, a candidate is expected to present both soft copy on CD and hard copy. After printing, then you present those ones for marks. Let's practice how to burn a CD, practice how to save work on a CD, how to save work in a folder, then on CD, and after that, practice how to print. Ask your teacher. The teachers are always there to help you in this. Then clearly indicate your full name, random number, that is for the case of your name, and your personal number. On both copies, when we say both copies, we mean the soft copy and hard copy. If you happen not to print the footers in your work that contain your name, maybe you have even failed to locate where the footer is because of any reason, type your name around the bottom of your page such that it is clearly seen there. After printing and your name doesn't appear there, get a pen, write your name, random number, and the personal number. But it will look good if you printed. Why we fail? One of them is failing to load the work with the correct support files, fear of computers, Also, our typing speed as learners, if you don't mind, practice using some of the softwares like Typing Master. Also, using wrong applications to do the required tasks for particular applications. You may fail to interpret a scenario. We ask you for something, maybe we ask you for an online application or an online presentation. You design for us a flyer. Is a flyer online? Please read the scenario and interpret it very well. Then also presenting unprofessional work. This level here, we expect to see some professionalism because you have been doing things, we are not specifying which skill for you. The professionalism that you portray will also award you abundantly and highly. Some of you fail to burn the CDs, and after failing to burn the CDs, you can't be in position to send the work to your neighbor. These are just a few highlights and a few guidelines that we prepared to share with you before we actually start. And I think before we can actually start, good enough that everyone is hearing, allow me at this particular moment, we look at what we have just seen here in relation to the question paper that we said and we shared. I want to think that all of us have access to this paper. Did we get this question paper here? Because we set it to guide us in what we have just seen up there. We said it is 2 hours and 30 minutes. The support files that were given to us, the support files look like the support files look like this. There are also some images. There is also a certain folder of images which look like this. So make sure that on your PC, you have these support files, which we are going to look at. Now, the biggest issue here is interpretation. I want to ask those who have issues to please share, put your questions in the chat. We shall get the questions there. To those that have not received, because one of the issues here was someone not having received the questions. I was pausing this a bit to see that people can read. We said that Mr. Kawanda is a P4 class teacher at Serinya Primary School. As the year ends, he is responsible for reporting the performance of children in his class and also determine those to go to the next classes, with those to be taken on trial, as well as those to repeat P4. He also expected to give a graphical representation to the head teacher on the performance of the class. Currently, he starts by picking manuscript mark sheets from each subject teacher, compiles and computes totals and averages for each of the 25 pupils in the subjects. After you studying ICT and an old student of this school, you imagine the tedious work your teacher goes through. You realized there was a laptop in the secretary's office. No teacher knows how to use it to prepare reports. The secretary is, however, willing to give out the laptop for any school work. After the collection of the data, a list of marks was generated and provided to you in a file called P4 marks, so as to prepare the work for Mr. Kabanda for presentation to the staff, parents, and the head teacher. So you're supposed to read, understand, and interpret that question. We are given 2 tasks here. The first task is to prepare a report to be presented to the head teacher. Also, to prepare pupils' reports to be presented to the parents. Can I see if there is any challenge interpreting that? Anyone challenged interpreting this? I think no. Can I get from the chat, someone tell us what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to present? We have a scenario, we have support files here. These support files have images and these support files also have, it is also a good idea that before you start, please open the support files and see what content is there. Because the scenario doesn't end at the text in the question paper. The scenario also goes further to the support files that are given to you. When you look at them, what do they need? It's upon you to interpret what does these questions need me to do. Now, this is the spreadsheet file. We are told that there are 25 students who are already there. Let's look at the other file and see. Sorry, this file is, the folder is a bit freezing. But meanwhile, let's look at this. We try to study it and understand it. What does it require of us? We have this. This P4 report is a document. It has people's name, class, position, out of, subject. These ones are here, class teacher's remarks, the head teacher's remarks. So in our simple interpretation, what is expected of us? I wish to ask someone there, someone who could help us. I just want two students to, I think, please raise your hand. I'll unmute you here such that you can tell us, just like two people, to say something on the interpretation of that scenario, what is expected of us to do briefly before we can start going. St. Leonard Secondary School, please unmute and tell us.
Spreadsheets and mirror margin.
Sorry?
Spreadsheets.
Yes.
And mirror margin.
Spreadsheets and mail margin.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that feedback. Let's get someone from Neighbor SS. Is Ndeba there? Okay, Come Seed. Come Seed, talk to us. Come Seed is not talking. Let me give one last chance to Guru Ame. Guru Ame.
The question is requiring us to use spreadsheet softwares.
To do what?
To organize the student data or scores
Mm. Okay. Thank you. Then solid, is it solid rock? Solid rock is not there. Let me choose one very last one. Gayaza, is it Gayaza Islamic? Gayaza Islamic? Gayaza Islamic is not there. Caring heart.
Sir,
Yes.
I think you are going to first get the total. Then after we shall grade accordingly how they got their marks throughout the different subjects. Yeah, that's my idea, sir.
And after that?
And after that, we shall also draft reports after positioning them and grading them. Then
Yes.
we shall then make reports through that using the other documents that were given to us where we had to insert in the pupil's name and their marks. That's my idea.
Okay, thank you very much for that idea. Members, allow me that because of time, we may end the submissions there. I see very many people's hands are up. Allow me, I will be asking some more questions later. For the deliberations, those that have put up their hands, kudos, thank you very much for submitting. Now, average mark for everyone, first work upon, we have to use database and Microsoft Excel, we use Adobe Dreamweaver software, computer the position using rank function and total scores using sum function, then use mail match to record each learner, Excel, Word, and database, average mark. Okay, thank you very much. All those that have submitted. Is my screen still on? Someone says it is not on, but I think it is on. So remember in the presentation, I said you should be able to read the scenario because I have already identified some of our friends are challenged in identifying what to do. Already read the scenario. Identify which application can do this work. And one of the advantages is that the support files that already given to us are determining for us which applications to use. So from the scenario given to us, we are asked to present a report presented to the head teacher and also pupils' reports. When we hear the word report, I think our mind may directly go to database, of which database can also do for us these reports. But from the support files given, someone mentioned of mail merge. I think connecting the database and creating reports may be a little more tasking than using the mail merge from the data that we already given here. So what we would ideally do, when we read here, we are told that the teacher starts by picking mark sheets from each subject teacher, compiles and computes totals and averages for each of the 25 pupils in the subjects. So I think we would begin from that very task. In this, we are supposed to put total and then average. How shall we get the totals? I think agree with me that we all know that we can use a function called sum, and we select all this. This one I want to think that we know. Alternatively, we would use a function, a formula, and we said equals this cell plus C3 plus D3 plus E3. The choice can be yours, but the choice of using a function may look a little better. So after that, we shall simply do the autofilling. And when we autofill, everything will automatically calculate. So we need to get the average mark. We shall use another function called average. This one I think we all know. Average of these cells here. After this, I think we would give this to one decimal place. Then still we shall just autofill, and all these values will appear like that. Then from the report here, we are given positions. When you look at the sample report to us, I think this sample report was given to us to reduce on the hassle that we would go through in creating a report. But all the documents, when you look at them, they look a bit unprofessional. This is a report, but it has no title. Where does it come from? It is not there. Which kind of report is it? It is not known. For which year, for which class, for which term, it's not shown anywhere. But nevertheless, when you look at the details here, we expect to see class teachers' remarks here and also head teachers' remarks. We expect to have the people's name, the class, the position, and the total. Then here we expect to see these pupils' scores and also the total marks here. Also, another mark here as the total for the total marks. So we should come here and generate positions, I think, first. Positions. We shall use a function called rank. We shall rank this average mark, or we could rank the total mark, any of your choice. We shall rank F2 from F2 to F26 and follow the descending order. Then after that, we shall fix this using an absolute referencing. And after that, we shall simply autofill. So we already have the positions here. And after that, we need to have, there are some other spaces given to us. This is the class teacher's comment, and also the head teacher's comment. I am thinking of putting them here simply because each student should have a different comment. But as each of them gets a different comment, of course, the comment will be determined by, according to us, because you as a student, all this work is yours. Whatever I'm thinking here, I'm just thinking like the student. What would you have? How is this class teacher going to comment on these learners? How is the head teacher going to comment on these learners? Can I ask you in the chat to write for me like 3 comments? Someone write for me 3 comments that we can use as a class teacher, and another one as subject teacher. Maybe something that I forgot. Sorry, one thing that you should do before actually starting to do this is to save this file in your folder, such that you don't work in the very support file. I want to think that we know it. You can press F12 or come to File, select Save As. We look for the desktop, browse, come to the desktop. I think I hadn't created a folder for myself. This is what we are supposed to do first. I think I was supposed to create a folder here for myself in the names of Kanike Simon 005. I change this file name also to my name, because, or I could put my name or Kanike Simon 005, maybe a name, my name, or the file name corresponding to the marks, but it should be your name for easy identification of the file. So I put in this folder as a, sorry, I save this. So at the top here, the file name should have changed. Okay. I want to think that I have some comments here. Do we calculate the totals? Please rename. Okay. Very good, good, fair, very good, promising, fair, more effort needed. The class teachers comment as class teacher. Outstanding, you can do better. Someone has posted a formula for average, but I think this is not very correct. Excellent, good, fair, award, excellent. Repeat, try, promoted, the class teacher says so. Function for finding position. Please improve on your reading in order to perform well. Very good results. Okay. Okay. Thank you for all this feedback. But ideally, however much you're writing these comments, but to my opinion, this comment looks too short. And remember, I think we should give the head teacher to say someone is promoted, someone should repeat, someone is promoted on probation. Anyway, for the class teacher, and what should we base on? Allow me, I'm going to determine that we should base on the average mark. Let me first put it here that someone above 75, someone above 75 as average should be told by the class teacher that this is good results. Keep it up. Someone above, that is between 45 to 74, is told to have fair results, should improve. And someone above or below 0, below 45, that is the 0 mark to the 0, below 45 should have a comment of needs to work harder for better results. But this one I think should be 75 and above, such that this lady who gets, or gentleman who gets 75 mark, 75 and above should be good results. Same thing with the 45 and above, that is 45 to a certain mark around 74, then this one who is below 45 should have that. This is comment for class teacher. Head teacher is going to tell the students to repeat, go on probation, or be promoted, just directly promoted. So we should say the same thing, that those who are 75 and above, the head teacher should say promoted to P5. Then those who are 45 and above, the head teacher should say that promoted to P5 on probation, or someone would say try P5, just like we have always had those comments. So those below 45 should be given comments as advised to repeat P4. Now, can I see which functions are we going to use? Someone asks, I am inquiring, which functions should we use? Someone asked to zoom this. But when we over zoom, I think, okay. Someone put for me in the chat, which function should we use there? Someone says if. Okay. We can use if and VLOOKUP. Good. Yes, let's use the if function using the average mark. For the class teacher, we should say that if this average mark of Rosemary is greater or equal to, we said 75. We are putting greater or equal to because we want the candidate of 75 to be given that particular comment. 75, this is good result, comma, open quotes, and we say good results, keep it up. Put quotes, and there, because there are 3 comments, we shall comma, and we say if get 2 again is greater or equal to now 45, open quotes, and say fair results. Fair results should improve, close the quotes, comma, and because you are left with only 1 condition there, the rest will all have the other comment, that is, needs to work harder for better results. The number of brackets, close the quotes. The number of brackets we have opened should be the number of brackets that we close. So there are 1, 2, and 3 brackets that we opened, so we close 3 of them. Oh, yes. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there were 2 brackets and we had closed 3. Okay. So this is what the class teacher has to say. Fair should improve. Fair should improve. Fair should improve. I think the whole class is being fair and needs improving. Okay, let's talk about the head teacher now. We shall say that equals if this average mark here is greater or equal to 75 again, the head teacher will say that this one is promoted to P5. So we shall command say again that if this teacher here, this student, this learner, the average being greater or equal to 45, the comment should be promoted to P5 on probation, with quotes and comma. The last, those who don't belong in any of the other two, we shall just open quotes for them. Now, just open quotes and say, repeat P4. That is what the head teacher said. Close the two brackets and enter. So most of these ones are promoted on probation. This one shall repeat P4. Boom. Okay. Now let's just expand this and see where it ends. Okay. Now, in my opinion, this is a result that would be worth. These ones, I think we could remove them now because we have finished that task there. These are results that would be worth sharing with our head teacher. But still the document doesn't look professional. I think you understand when we say professional. It is not fit to be sent to the head teacher. It has no title. It has nothing that shows what is it. The students are not arranged in any order. The students are not numbered. The font styles are their own style. So the formatting could be yours. But briefly, we would do the following formatting. Let's put numbers by first inserting a new column on the left because it's not there. Put a new column here. We call it number. A serial number here, where we shall have 1, 2. Just highlight these two for auto fill. The numbers will come. We need to put a title on top. Insert. Highlight that first row. Insert. We put a title here. I think we may need 2 rows here. This one we shall merge up the head teacher's comment. Merge and center. We put the name of the school. Serinya Primary School. We shall merge this row again to show the title. If this is Serinya Primary School, this is P4 end of year 2024 results. Maybe with the comments. That could also work. Our work, it would look good if we have put borders. These are just formattings that I think of would work and would look better. We are putting borders, so the borders are there. We would change the font style, the font name, the font colors of different things, the table, the directions of these headings. The formatting is yours as a student to give us a professional document. Now this bit, I should say that it is done. But we were asked to give a graphical representation to the head teacher. So we shall have to put either a graph or a pie chart of the scores. The choice can be yours. So before we get to generating the report for the parent, allow me that we should generate a graph. We could say that we are going to create a pie chart for the names and the average mark. So we should highlight this. Hold the control button on your keyboard. Come to the average mark. Highlight this. Come to insert. We look for a pie chart. Set a pie chart. The pie chart is appearing somewhere here. Because of the too much data, it looks very congested because the students are very many. You can put a number of things for the pie chart, and it looks like it is even covering our content. So what we would do, we would take this to a new sheet. Let's first create a new sheet here. Feel free to rename the sheet. Just right click the chart, cut. Come to sheet 2 and paste. This is our pie chart, a graphical representation of our data. Rename sheet 1 as data. Rename sheet 2 as pie chart. For the head teacher to know easily that here is the pie chart and here is the data. So this is our result. If you need to draw the other graph, it is also very okay. So now we would do away with this. Let's just save the changes and we close it. That is the first task, because we have two tasks here. Prepare a report to be presented to the head teacher. This is the first task. So we now come to work to task number 2 of preparing pupils' reports to be presented to the parents. So our report was here. Just as someone suggested, when we think of the support files that were given, we don't need to go to database. We use these 2 applications, that is Word, because it already has our support file. And we shall say, I said the support file doesn't have a title, but we should still first put it in our folder. So the first thing, press F12 or go to File and select Save As. We want to put this in our folder. Which folder is on the desktop? The folder was Kanike Simon 005. Open it. I would call it Kanike Simon 005. This is a Word document and save it. Then here, we would begin with putting the title in the center as Serinya Primary School. You would give it an address. How do the report cards look like? PO Box 112, maybe Masaka. Uganda. This one, maybe you would put telephone contacts of the school. Because this school, the teachers should give feedback. Maybe it is a +5675, that one. 256. That one. So we come here and say that end of year report for primary. For primary 4. So the class here is P4. And I think we would actually underline it. The position is going to be given out of, these ones are not in the other spreadsheet. That is why I'm feeding them here. Out of 25, which would also underline. So the people's name, the marks here. After entering these results, we shall format the document to look a bit more professional. So the pupil's name shall come here and the class and the position. We come to the tab called mailings, as some people already mentioned it. So we shall start mail match of We'll call them letters. After that, we shall select recipients. And this time around, we want to use existing list. This existing list here is in our folder. Which folder is on the desktop? This is spreadsheet here, and we shall open it. So we shall go through this wizard and say that this is the table that we actually need. Now, following inserting merge fields here, let's remove these dashes here because they may disturb us. Just highlighting them, and we come here, insert merge field, pupil's name. Oh, sorry. We changed something I wish to direct here. Because we put titles to the spreadsheet, we need to know which column has what. Oh no. These are support files. Let's open our folder. Our folder is here. We need to understand which formula, which column has. Oh, it is asking for read only because it is already linked. Okay. So here we understand that this column B has what we call the student name. In C, we have math. In D, we have, I think let's first repeat this. Select recipients, use an existing list, which we should look for. In this folder here, we have a file called Kanike Simon. And we should use this data. First row contains column headers. That is what it would be, but no, it doesn't. F2, F3, F4. Allow me would first remove these two rows to keep peace in our spreadsheet. Okay, we shall put the other titles in the header. Okay. Save. Oh no. The whole of this table, we need to first close this. We need to first close everything because we have already linked the table. And also this one, we opened a read-only file. So we need to open it again such that we can make some changes there. Let's come here. For us to have these column headings here, we need to first get rid of this. We shall put these columns in the header for us to meet the target of what processor wants. To put them in the header, we shall simply click here, split it, come in this, setting a primary school. And then here we shall say that end of year results for P 4. And we shall get rid of this. Okay. Save the changes. So we should now open our report. Our report is connected to a data source. Yes, please connect to the data source. So we should come back to the mailings here, select merge fields. I think we now have our merge fields here given to us. Here we need the pupil's name. Come here and insert merge field of student name, which is that one. We need to put a space between there. The class is P4. The position here, positions, out of 25. This mark here, this is math. Come insert merge field for math. Come insert merge field for English. Come insert merge field for SST. Come insert merge field for science. And then the total mark. And we should put somewhere the average mark, because it is not indicated here, but it is talked about as what the teacher calculates. Average mark should be given to us here. Then what does the class teacher say? The total mark here ideally is 400, but we would still use a formula in a table layout here. We call for a formula to sum above and say okay, such that it gives us 400. The average mark is there. Then the class teacher's remark would come here, select this part, come back to mailings, insert. We look for the class teacher here. This class teacher called Commander Joseph. The head teacher's remark should also come as the head teacher here. And we have this head teacher's remark there. So far, the information that is given to us and what we are supposed to edit is already given to us. We come here and select preview results. So here we should be able to see these students' marks here. Koblemi Rosemary, I think we are supposed to underline this, but we hadn't underlined it. The choice is now yours to format this document or this report the way you would wish it to be. For example, the formattings I think we all know. For the interest of time, I may not go through many of them. Increase the font size, change the font color, change the font styles, give background colors. The choice can be yours. This one also is done. And with that, not yet done actually. What you are supposed to do, finish and merge, because you are supposed to create letters for all parents. But before you finish and create letters for all parents, I am not formatting the document members because of time, and I know all of us can do that formatting, unless there is something. So we would say edit individual documents or print, but because we want to save that other file for our work, we'll say edit individual documents, and we say all, such that we create 25 report cards as a new file, which we are going to save in our folder. Therefore, as you work, in your folder, you should put the other pages. This new file called the reports. This is 1, this is 2, but export these letters after you have finished formatting the letter, because whichever format you come out with is what will be given to us. Okay, so we save this one also in our folder. Which folder is on the desktop? I called it this name, open. We can call this reports. We can call it reports. I know it had given itself Serenia Primary School, but yeah. That's all with the report. I think with that question, allow me that we have done. Let me see just a few things in the chat here. Good, so far I have understood how to put the different fields. Someone will send, okay. Add more fields into your report since there are only few of them included. Yes, if you see there are few fields included in the report and your time is there, please put yourself, all the fields that you see are relevant. How you divided the table in a spreadsheet, dividing the table, I can't get exactly what you mean. Oh, I think I may recall what you wanted to mean here. Okay. Now, someone talked about dividing the table here. This one, I think I clicked here in the page layout. This part here. At the bottom, we have a page layout and normal layout. When I clicked here, it makes it simple to split this and have the page layout. I was targeting to type the header. You would as well put your footer down here. But remember, we said that make sure that your work looks professional. Put your footer as your name. Put your footer as your name. Now to look professional, this work ideally is supposed to fit on one page. So what do we do? Come to page layout, orientation, landscape. You see that it is only one column here that is still crossing to the next field. Come to the margins. We are trying to look at how do we expand this. Select narrow margins. It is still expanding, but quite little. We see that we still have space here on the positions. Oh, positions would end somewhere there. Now this one would also reduce a bit. We want this column. You see some of the words are still caught up the other side. We would reduce this. The math is also still having some space. And somewhere here, the names would also reduce a little. Then when we come to print, some of the letters are still there. Now, when we come to print, you say File, select Print. You select a printer according to the printer that the teacher will give you that it is connected. So when you select this, somewhere here on scaling, where we have scaling, determine if it is just a small space like the other one, say that fit all columns on one page. Such that all the columns, oh no, this file has some more content there. Or else, let's just highlight our data. We just highlight this. And then we print selection. When you control P, you just come here and say print selection. So our data should be able to fit on our page. Maybe also as you print the spreadsheet, it would be good that you print also the formula, the formulae of your work. Go to your keyboard, press Control and tilde. There is a button below the escape button. A button below the escape and the before one, between escape number 1 and the tab key. That button, when you press that button, Control and tilde, it will give you this view where you can print these formulas. It would also be advised that you print those formulas for you to send to the examiner for security purposes. Okay, someone has a hand here, Kaguru SS. We want to go to the second item now. Kaguru SS. Kaguru is not there. Mandela?
Yeah,
Mandela.
thank you. Yes, please, thank you.
Welcome.
I just wanted to supplement on making our work fit on a sizable page. So
Yes,
like
please.
in this case, if you try printing and it's showing on 2 pages, on page
Sorry?
when we go to page layout,
yes,
we have on scale to fit, we have the width and then the height. So on the width,
yes,
normally when you print, yes. So from there we can set, when we leave it to automatic, it will be able to adjust by itself. But when we select on the width and then the height, we can restrict it on the number of pages that we want to fit in. Like for now, on the width, you set it to 1 page. And then also, if you want it to be on 1 page for the height, you select also 1
you select
page.
1 page.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you
now
so
when
much.
you try
Thank you so much. I am seeing many questions here. Notre Dame High School.
Yes. My question is, when you press Control key, you mean it is a must to press Control key while highlighting?
Control tilde. Highlighting?
Control, yes. In order to highlight another, let's say another range of cells. So it is a must to press Control key and you till it. Then you go to another range and you
can't
highlight.
get you whether you're asking a question or you're making a statement.
I'm asking a question.
May you please repeat your question?
That I'm meaning, when you are pressing, when you are arranging to get, when you are arranging the cells, you are highlighting the cells in order to print them or to present them on the pie chart. This is a must that you should do till the control. Then you go to another range of cell.
Oh, I think I get you now. Now, to highlight, because here we were doing and working with a column here, this column here is distant from this average column. If there were 2 close columns here, we would simply highlight like this. But because this column is this way and another one is distant this way, when you come to select this, you deselect the first one. So what you do, you highlight this column, hold the Control button, no other button apart from Control, then come and click the next distant column. But be careful. Some of you, what you do, you select this, for example, here, then someone first clicks once here, and then you click again to select. Those are 3 selections, and they will honestly give you an empty chart. When you come to click, please click there once. I think I've answered you several. Members, the questions are still very many and time is running out. United the Progressive. United is not there. Come. Come Seed. Come is not responding. St. Elizabeth Girls. St. Elizabeth Girls. St. Elizabeth, please. Malera. Malera is not talking.
Sir, I wanted
Yes,
to
please.
know, or during in the other side of teacher and when we put there promoted or repeat, when we try to highlight to put it there, will it not repeat the same way that promoted to all for all students who have also failed? That is the question.
I beg your pardon?
Like when commenting, when the teacher is commenting or the class teacher is commenting, we put there promoted and failed for those ones who have not performed well. And when we are trying to when we try to highlight it, will it not give all those ones who have also failed to promote to another class?
No, unless you have written the formula wrongly.
Okay, sir.
But if you state the criteria very well, it will not highlight, it will give each of the candidates their own positions.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome. Kisowera. Kisowera says. Kisowera. I think Kisowera is not there. Hill City.
Musaba. Naye temusobola byogera. Hill City agenda kwogera.
Hill City, please.
I would like to inquire on the keyboard which buttons do you press on the keyboard?
Hill City, please. Will you talk to us?
I'm saying.
Will you please get close to the microphone? Premier High School. Premier.
Yes, sir.
May you please talk to us? And I think you could be the last one. Okay. There is a device, Almaric. Almaric.
Yes, what I'm asking?
Yes.
Like in case what I'm saying, we're just presenting a hard copy only. On the issue of the soft copy, where do you put it? You use a flash or a CD? Which device do you use?
I think the instructions were clear here. Are you able to read this? You must produce a hard copy to accompany a soft copy on the compact disc. Okay, members, allow me that we go to the next. Let's go to the next item. There are many questions which I don't think we can exhaust here. Just put them in the chat. Someone asked to print the formula. You press Control plus that button there. And someone asked about the positions. To repeat the formula for the positions, the formula is here. Allow me just display it. Rank, you put the cell name that you're ranking. You begin with that very cell name to the very last cell name in that range. And the comma, then 0, 0 meaning ascending order. In ascending order, sorry, descending order. Descending order means the biggest value will be given position number 1, and the smallest order will be given the last position. Make sure that the range is made absolute with the $signs. Let's close that. We go to the second item. There are some other things that we have not done, which include sorting. The other item some things we have not done, including sorting. We have not put the badge, and the badge was given to us there. Someone asked if I generate those reports from each student within Excel by linking different sheets. If it is not tedious and it can give out the product that is required, please do. The other concerns in the last item. Okay, let's go to the last item here. The last item here says, please, I want to request those raising their hands, kindly put them down. Mr. Katerega runs an electronics shop in Kakumiro district, offering a wide range of products from smartphones to home appliances. Many of his customers ask for detailed product information, but he struggles to provide it effectively because he relies solely on in-store displays and word of mouth. To solve this problem, Mr. Katerega has decided to create a digital platform where customers can easily find information about his shop, products and services, and contact details. He has asked you, an ICT guru, to help him establish this platform. Mr. Katerega believes that this digital platform will help streamline his business operations and improve customer experience. He's looking forward to your ideas and creativity in bringing his vision to life. Now the task is using your skills and some files in your support files folder. Create the digital platform that Mr. Katerega needs, ensuring it is easy to navigate, visual appealing, and contains all the necessary information mentioned above. Still, I come back to the chat. Can you tell us, someone advise us, what are we expected to present here? Yes. Someone says website. Yes, create a website. Okay, now when you creating a website, can you also tell us which softwares? Tell us, yes, we have all understood that we can create a website, but not only website, only that most of us might have learned how to create websites. We can also create applications an online application that runs on a smartphone. Okay. Okay, I see we have a number of things there. WordPress, Expression Web, Dreamweaver, Notepad++, WordPress, and Microsoft Expression Web. Someone mentioned Publisher somewhere, but honestly speaking, I don't think Publisher will work. Publisher has been disconnected from using designing websites. And someone says HTML, Notepad, VS Code, all those ones can work, but a bit tiresome. Visual Studio Code, all those ones can still work. But what are the tasks? Find information about the shop, the products and services, and the contact details. So if it is a website, how many pages do we need to prepare there? Someone says we use Notepad. Now someone asks for hard copy papers. Please, I kindly ask you to talk to your teacher. Your teacher will surely give you the hard copy papers. We shared soft copies, my dear. Yes, we use Notepad. 4 pages. Let's use Expression Web. 4 pages. Okay, 3 pages. Now, we can use many softwares, and I believe many of us have learned very many of them. Some people have used Expression, others have used WordPress, others have used Dreamweaver, others have used a number of them. But for now, allow me, we are going to use this application called WordPress. Let me see by show of hands here, by show of hands and comments, those that have used WordPress before. But which one is good for us? All are good. Oh, now challenge is coming here. We have had some that have used WordPress before. Others have not. I want to ask you to put the charts, the questions in the chat. Dreamweaver, WordPress. Some people have used WordPress. Now, allow me, we are going to use WordPress. I have Expression Web, I have Publisher, I have Dreamweaver, but we can't have all of them at this time. Allow me, I'm going to take you through this application. What are the requirements for you to use this WordPress, those that have not used it, and those that have used it? I'm running an application here called Local WP. Let me just put some things here. What do you need? You need Local WP, but this one will be easier for you. Local WP will be easier for you if you're running Windows 10 and above. Local WP, then you need a theme. We are going to use what we call Astra as a theme. You need the plugin, which we are going to install. One is the contact form 7. That one's just for contacts. And maybe another one for exporting our site, which we call Simply Static. Basically, those ones. This is also another plugin. See, the theme is here. We may not necessarily need a page builder, but these are things that we're going to work with. After installing this, Simply come here. There are some sites here, but you click this. Add a site. First, analyze the scenario here, and we are told that this is Mr. Katerega's electronics shop. So which site name should we give? Someone give me a site name. Hey, I go slow, it's approaching supper time. We are using this one. Okay, we want to create a new site. And the site, we say the Katerega. Let's call it Kate Electronics. Kate Electronics .com. And we continue. These servers, you can leave them, continue. A username, because it is Katerega, let's say Katerega, we shall put a password there, the WordPress password. I understand very well there are some that could be new to this, but I'm finding myself that this one is simpler than the others. We shall go on judging ourselves later, slowly by slowly. The password, I'm using the same as Katerega. The email, you need to put a real email address, katerega@gmail.com. And so we shall say add the site. The site is adding itself. They are adding for us, the software is adding for us files slowly by slowly. Meanwhile, I could get to the chat here, and as it is loading, you go slow, sir. This is web development. We are not going to use any code here. Some people wanted to use Notepad or VS Code. Those ones will require us to first understand and know the basics of HTML. Someone asks for pardon. We are going to design a site here in a few minutes, which doesn't require us to work with HTML, to work with the CSS. Just in case we need to work with CSS and HTML, we shall do. Someone asked for a repeat. I said after installing your site, your program, this is the program that you are talking about, this one. When you install local WP, it will have for you install local WP, it will give you an interface where WordPress is already installed. We said come to this plus button. As the other one is loading, we can create another one here. Create a new site. We are repeating for those that ask for pardon as the other one loads. Create, put a site name, Katerega Electrics. We'd call it Katerega. Let's call it katerega.com. Then continue. These ones, leave them the way they are, the servers. Put a WordPress username, because we're going to have a username. We are going to have a dashboard. Username. We use the Katerega there. Then we can also use Katerega here as the password. And the email address, we said use a valid email address. Katerega@gmail.com. And say add the site. This is the point where we have been. I think Cat Electronics is already done here. It is still adding files. It is still adding for us files. Meanwhile, I think when it comes there is also another server that you can use called XAMPP, where we would simply copy and paste the files there. With this one, we could create the sites. They can be set by your teachers there. As we set them, we would just rename them. I think after repeating this is taking longer. Some of us don't know coding. Help us, sir. It is just taking some minutes here to load, but those worried about coding, please rest your case here. It is just a matter of drag and drop items here and there. You type a number of some words, import photos, and upload them. So it's going to be, someone says it requires patience. Not necessarily, it actually also depends on the speed of your computer. It doesn't require internet. The moment you download and have these files with you on your computer, you don't need internet. Do we also need this? Of course, you need it. When it takes long, I think let's use Sublime Text, sir. Is it possible for video record purposely for cause of us join late? We'll work on that. The recording will come, Mr. Kazi will share it. I think guy, it has took long. It is actually taking longer than I imagined. But I said practice. When you practice and work with these things here, it is just taking longer for now. When we practice and during your practice, you have realized that it takes these minutes. I think it is also taking longer because of what I repeated for someone here. Oh, yes. There is some new site that I created. This one here, go to folder, restart. I think I would stop. Because I'm adding 2 sites at a time, because as I was repeating for someone here, could not update host file. Yeah. Want to delete this site here, but it's also taking long in deleting. Oh. Someone from Pabo? Okay. Meanwhile, I think I would open Expression Web. This one is taking longer.
Now, sir, this thing is taking long. What if it is on the exam? Does it not waste time? I mean, this thing is taking long.
Okay, just be patient. Teacher Simon is getting back, and I'm seeing your questions coming in the chat. Let's be just patient. He has some network issues, but he's getting back. But as he gets back, we can be completing those few issues. Let's be completing, but I'm also going to ask the teachers who are on the call in case you want to make some submission. The ICT teachers who are on the call, we can be using this time to chip in something as he gets back. Those who are looking for the questions are in the chat. Kindly feel free. Okay. Okay. So teachers of IC2 who are on the call, we can use this time to chip in something for the candidates as we wait for Mr. Simon to get back online. Okay, let me start with Loboji Ame. Loboji Ame. Loboji Ame. Is it possible to unmute? Yes, kindly go on.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, kindly go on.
We have a question. So it goes, like for us, we are like familiar with Word Express. So
Yes, continue. Okay, sorry about the, okay. Okay, yes, Alwoji, we are going to get back to you with the answer. I wanted the ICT teachers who are on the call. Okay, yes. Teacher Muhammad, kindly line mute. Teacher Muhammad,
Okay,
kindly
thank you,
line
sir.
mute.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I hope my students can get me clearly.
Yes, you are clear.
So for purposes of web design, I appeal to our teachers and students that bearing in mind time management, we could embrace web expression. Well, we could also teach our learners on how to use WordPress for professional careers. But bearing in mind the time and at times that examination pressure which always happens, and now we can get it from our presenter. Sometimes WordPress becomes challenging and learners cannot fix it in exam if such things happens. See? And it's not necessary that web expression builds obsolete websites, as I had one learner citing it. No. And even if a learner has no idea about coding, the learner can give the best. So personally, I would encourage learners to use web expression for examination purposes, and management of time. Well, we could give them other coding apps like WordPress for professional development. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I've really loved the idea of the professional development, because one of the aims of the curriculum is to produce learners that can be employed, who can have those employable skills. Okay, thank you for for that, teacher. Yes, Teacher Simon, are we back?
Oh, yes, Mr. Kaziba, I'm back. I'm sorry I had some power glitch here. Okay. And my router had to go off.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's just come back here. I think I'm back. Thank you for holding on. Good enough, I thank my colleague that I found on the call sharing something there. Only that sometimes issues come and a bit technical like we had them. Issues of time management, expression web would come in handy. But if the teacher has prepared the learners and the lab very well with WordPress tools, they'd also look and work better. And we are running short of time. Now, those of us that have had expression web, this is where we are resorting to. We would come here to site. We are going to work with the template, and we simply edit that template to make sure that we come out with what we would wish to have. So let's have a template here. Could it be organization 1, organization 3, 4, what? Which one now? A small business, the other one is a business. I think we would go into a template for a business. Now you as a student, please take time and go through these ones. Let's see, I think take this one. Browse, where are we going to save our site? Let's browse and look for our folder called Kanyike. I saved mine as Kanyike, which is on the desktop, Kanyike Simon. I put a folder called website. And it is in this folder called website that I want to create my site, then click OK. So Expression Web will create for me my files there. So at this point,
okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Let's wait for Teacher Simon is getting back. Okay, but let me ask, I saw there is okay, Teacher Muhammad, you can be supplementing, but there is someone who wanted to supplement something. Yes, Teacher Godfrey. Teacher Godfrey, are you still on? Oh, Teacher Godfrey.
Muhammad is on.
Yes, Teacher Muhammad?
Yeah, I'm still
What Teacher
on.
Swaib?
Okay. As our discussant is still setting the machine. Now for the learners who were asking about whether database would work for question number 1, I would say it's not, it would work, but how? How would it work? Because we are supposed to rank the students, and they have not seen Access having such functions like ranking. So choice of application to use is very important. Question 1 needed us to use 2 applications. One is spreadsheet, so commonly known as Excel, then 2, a word processor, and we normally use Microsoft Word. So it needed the learner to be in a possession of skills of using 2 apps concurrently, using mile margin. Now I know Access can create recipient lists, because when we were taught on how to use mile margin, we saw that creating non-existing lists, when we save them, they are saved by default under Access. But for this case, according to the support file, we're supposed to use Microsoft Word and a spreadsheet. Then 2, the Word document was supposed to be saved in the folder which had our recipient list. And this case, the recipient list is a list which had the learners' what? Results, the scores. In case this file is saved in another folder, it is going to become so challenging for you to open, not only for you, but even the examiner is not going to be in position to open your files. Why? One of the files will be missing. So I argue my learners on the platform that always save these 3 files in one folder. And which are these 3 files? The main document, in this case, it is our Word document, the P4 report card. Document number 2 is the recipient list. In this case, is the results spreadsheet. And then the last one is the document that is combining now the main and the marked fields. So all those 3 are supposed to be in one what? In one folder. Hope my learners have picked something. Hello? Hello? So, hello?
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether they were still getting me.
Yes.
Now, for web design, it is going to be a choice of the learner. Well, as teachers, we are supposed to set conducive environment. We can teach all apps for web design. I can teach Expression, I can teach Dreamweaver, I can teach WordPress. So we leave the ball in the hands of the learner, this candidate, to choose which one is more convenient. So we should not only limit the learners to one app, because it's like I've seen several colleagues saying WordPress, you know, because they claim like web expression is more static websites. And to me, I think you needs to know, is this learner having a skill of really building what? A site. It may not necessarily look at which application was used. So for my learners, always use for as long as it is a suitable app, because somebody may use publisher for web design. That one, no. We are saying use the most appropriate app, be it WordPress, Expression, Dreamweaver, so forth. The one you well confident with, you easily interact with, the one that the interface is more favoring to you. You know, if your colleague is using Word Express and you are not really organized to use it, use the best you can. And normally when it comes to networked machines at times, like for any computing, at times you could be using web expression and or web WordPress, and it's telling you a database is being used by another person. So such things may happen. So thank you, sir. I think my colleague is back, should continue, but it is already 6. Mr. Kaziba?
Thank you so much, teacher. Teacher Godfrey wanted to say something. Teacher Geoffrey, you can submit. And then we shall have Teacher Swaib. Teacher Geoffrey, you can submit.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Stephen. A very good evening to our learners and colleague teachers here. I hope I'm being audible enough.
Yes, we are very clear.
Yes, I'm just going to supplement on web development. Really, I must say it is, so first start with the mindset of the learners themselves. There is this common belief amongst our students that website development is very difficult. I must say it's not that. Once you believe that something is doable, it's always doable. And in terms of the technologies to use, really for exams purposes, I will suggest that WordPress and Expression Web can do, though I teach my learners HTML. But we could do with Expression Web and WordPress, just because we want these learners to get the basics of the development, and then always room for exposure and trying to dig deep into what other tools I can use is really up handy to the learners to pick up with.
Oh, Mr. Kasva. Hello. Mr. Kasva, I think please you should now moderate over the meeting. I think it's almost 6. Actually, it is now 6. Hello? Mr. Kasva, please kindly guide us on the next step because it is already 6 and in most schools at 6 learners are supposed to go for supper. And I think our presenter may not be in position to, further present.
Okay. He's back. Maybe Teacher Swahili, we can, Teacher Simon.
Oh, yes, Mr. Kaziba. Thank you, members. I wish to apologize. I've had just hiccups in power here. Now I'm also getting stuck and confused on what to do. I look at the timing here as I found the colleague saying. Is it possible, Mr. Kaziba? I think we shall have to, we can't do this site, complete it in the next 10, 15 minutes. And I suppose it's supper time in most schools.
True, Teacher Simon, but I know you can give us some hints on website and maybe give your view on the different things, because I'm seeing the chat, some people are saying Microsoft Expression, Notepad, and the rest of the HTML. So kindly maybe just because some people are saying we wanted to see how it works and the rest of that. Maybe give your view.
Okay, I would just say this in the closing remarks. Truth is, there are many softwares that can be used for coming up with a site. In my opinion, there is no hard and no easy software because people can always find it hard here and easy here. The issue is with practice. The challenge that may be with the using local is that it has to run and create databases for itself. As I had studied, and it would take some minutes before loading to create the site. Most of the learners have worked and prepared and presented themselves with Microsoft Expression Web. If you have done and worked and created your site with Expression Web, you're far better than one who is going to take time in working with the XAMPP, with the local, in creating the WordPress site. But however, all applications can work. I just want to encourage the candidates. Let's settle for an application for a certain software. If you are pro Expression Web, please go for Expression Web and make sure that you perfect your skills in Expression Web. If you have worked with WordPress, please, I want to encourage you, get to WordPress and get the nitty-gritty of everything in WordPress. Those that have worked with Dreamweaver, the issue is coming out with the site. But however, not forgetting that at the end of it all, we want something that is on the job market. So make sure that whichever software that you're going to use can be able to help you put your product for competition on the market. However much we are looking for marks, these sites and skills and softwares that we are working with are to help us to get skills that are marketable. So look at the products that you have that you can create with the various pieces of software. The good thing is that the questions that are set are not dictating for you which software to use. So the choice is yours as a learner, as a candidate. I want to end by asking you that whichever software you have been introduced to by the teacher, please and please practice and perfect your skills for that particular software. I don't want to say that we should use this one or this. Only that sometimes as teachers, we sometimes dictate which software to use at school. So depending on what the teacher has dictated or what the teacher has advised you to use, this is what we should use, and let's get the nitty-gritty of everything. That's what I would say for now, Mr. Kaziba, because working with Notepad, working with Expression Web, working with Dreamweaver, working with anything may not work out as of now. Maybe we would schedule another session to have specifically maybe one application or another application as we may have it programmed or arranged. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Teacher Simon, for the wonderful presentation. I think we are going to have a discussion this evening, and we see whether we can sacrifice Friday, because on Friday we have some space. So we are going to discuss in case your program really favors, and maybe we can come back and dedicate that session for maybe practical, and we'll look at the web designing, and maybe you show us maybe how we can use WordPress and other things that we can use when we are designing, and maybe you talk about other things, but we shall first have a discussion and then see how we can really catch up. But we promise we shall have another session given that our facilitator has time on Friday to see how we can catch up. But tomorrow we are coming in for chemistry practical tomorrow. Please make sure you keep time. Tomorrow we shall have chemistry practical. Then Wednesday and Thursday, we shall have biology theory, and then biology practical on Friday. So that's how we are going to run our program. And then when it comes to Saturday, we shall be talking about projects because you know that you are supposed to have a project. Each and every one of that is on the call, each student must have his personal project, but we shall have that discussion on Friday, on Saturday, and we shall be able to give you some sample projects that you can work on in case you have not yet worked on any. But we want to thank you so much, Teacher Simon, and all the teachers that have been on this call. We are really very grateful. Thank you so much for sacrificing your time to be online. And thank you so much for connecting the children online. For the school administrators, we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for all the input you are giving to the students. For the students that are making it, please, we are really very grateful. Thank you so much for joining these sessions. For the teachers who have not yet joined the group, we have a group where we coordinate all the teachers. Let me just drop the link. For those who can join, you can join now. But the group is for teachers only, and students kindly do not join that group in case you're on the call, because we want to discuss matters that are going to really help you. So in that group, we expect only teachers to be online on that group. So I'm dropping the link in case there are some teachers who have not yet joined, kindly join. And also we want to ask the teachers, in case you can, kindly take a photo of the way those students are really attending the sessions and kindly share such that we can inspire other schools to come online and share with us. We shall have seen some teachers who want to make more contribution the next time we meet. We shall kindly allow you and we can communicate such that we can be able. Teacher Chiviri, thank you so much for all your time. I know power has not been on our side, but I know next time God will make it. But I'm very sure everyone that has been able to join this session, there is a lot you have learned. We are really very grateful. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much to all the teachers and dear students. We wish you a good evening and nice supper. Please do not give up. We still have time to make it. Let us keep pushing until the last day. We wish you all the best in your preparation for the mocks. Bye-bye and see you tomorrow.